Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching NewsLink on DSTV channel 403. Now, applications for the Futurelect 2023 cohort of the Southern African Public Leadership Program are open. The aim is to identify and support young candidates, that's women and other political outsiders, who wish to transition into the public service space. Futurelect CEO and co-founder Lindiwe Mazibuko joins us now to unpack just this. Ms. Mazibuko, good morning and thank you very much for your time. Now, this initiative is a very important one, particularly because young people remain in the majority on our continent. So they do need to be prepared for the role of building democracies and contributing to sustainable development. But how does this program specifically assist these future leaders?
Thank you very much for having me. Yes, this program is trying to resolve that very problem, the absence of young people and the absence of women in the numbers they should be represented in political and government leadership. We do a program that requires only that our fellows have leadership experience, and they do a program of personal leadership development, program of skills building, and a program of understanding political systems. And all of that is underpinned by a heavy focus on ethics, accountability, and people-centered leadership.
So leadership in what sense? Do they have to be coming from the corporate space, or they could be leaders in NGOs? What do we mean when we say leadership experience?
So we accept applicants from the ages of 18 to 45, and we don't require any educational qualification. Our only requirement is that you have led a community of some description or a group of people using an endeavor that was your idea. So many of our applicants are, 18-year-olds who've started education NGOs to help other young people go to university, or, people who've started libraries in their communities, people who've been trying to deal with gender-based violence in their communities. Anybody who's initiated a program of leadership and change in their community is eligible for this program, regardless of whether or not they have any specific educational qualifications.
I like that you touch on leadership in your community in particular, because it was bringing me to my next question around the placing of these individuals. Because if we're looking at placing them in public service, unfortunately, they need legitimacy where they must have perhaps served in their communities. They are known, because we know the current climate. Everything is politicized. Even if you're going to be an administrator in government, you find in most instances it's somebody from a political party that was deployed to that position. So it really is a bit of a concern that beyond them being groomed, then how do you place them if they didn't grow through the ranks perhaps in the African National Congress or grow through the ranks in the Democratic Alliance?
So we don't place them. Every single participant in our programs decides for themselves where they want to serve and how, based on a combination of the fact that they applied in the first place, so they already had a vision for themselves and how they want to lead in the public sector, and on the lessons that they learn through our programs, especially the political systems programs. So if somebody's very focused, for example, on education, we advise them that, provinces are the places where education is implemented. So where can they, do the best work they can do there? We invite political elders, existing party leaders from across the ideological spectrum to come and guest lecture on our programs. And we invite our fellows to interact with them. We're a nonpartisan program. We don't support any political organization or not accept any political organization, provided that the applicants represent ethical leadership. And so they need to tell us where they want to be. And through a combination of networking, of engaging with guest speakers and mentors, we are able to connect them to people in the organizations where they want to be, or they have the responsibility to make that happen for themselves, and we can support them wherever it's necessary. So all of our fellows have defined their own trajectory, their own journey, but the only requirement we have is that they have an aspiration to either run for elected leadership as an electoral candidate or to be technical support to a political appointee like a cabinet minister or an MEC in government.
No, this is honestly a great initiative, because many have been lamenting the state of affairs now, saying there is a leadership vacuum, but they're always saying you've got great leaders that don't want to assist younger ones and mentor them. So it honestly is a commendable initiative. But for those that want to partake, you're saying, do they go perhaps to your website to apply, or how would it work?
Yes, we're accepting applicants, as I said, between 18 and 45 from throughout the SADC region. They can go to futurelect.org. Futurelect has one E. Futurelect.org. All the information on the Southern Africa program, whose applications opened on Nelson Mandela Day, is available. Applications are open until the 31st of August. We encourage everyone to apply as soon as possible. They're going to have to submit a video, a personal statement telling us where they want to work in the public sector and why, as well as a resume and some other details. So it's very important that they get started on the application as soon as possible. And it's an open call. Anybody who has ever felt that they can make a contribution to the public leadership deficit in our countries and on our continent, but hasn't been able to figure out how to do it, should step up. We're here to help. We want to support as many young people and women who want to be the next generation or the now generation of leaders in our countries as possible.
And then I can't let you go before I ask this. Any chance of you returning to mainstream politics? Yes, you're still in politics in this aspect where you're training and mentoring, but any chance? You're seeing what's happening in the country now. They're still talking of a leadership vacuum. Would you be somebody that has the appetite to return?
Absolutely. I started this organization because I have the appetite to return, but because I want to return to a system that isn't just the same people that it was when I left in 2014. So it's one thing for me to plan, my own career in politics. It's quite another for me to want to be part of a public sector that has great leaders in every political party on both sides of the aisle, in every institution in government. So part of the reason I started this organization is because I want to be in politics and government again. But before I consider that, I want to support others to do so. So if I were to do that, I would obviously resign. This is a non-profit, non-partisan organization, and hand over to a successor and then chart my own way forward. But for now, I'm focused on supporting young leaders who want to make a similar transition.
Ms. Mazibuko, thank you very much for your time. That is Futurelect CEO and co-founder Lindiwe Mazibuko.